All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. So before I get inundated with 600 messages about Dennis DeYoung doing an interview with a certain publication that I'm pretty sure hates my guts, I'm just going to be honest with it. Um, the only thing I could say about it is Dennis goes into, again, full detail, talks about when he got sick, talks about how he got kicked out of his own band, talks a lot about unity. Like, hey, I like these guys. Why don't they like me? They don't like him supposedly because he's a tyrant, he's a dictator. It's the same stuff. And you know what, folks? Based on all the internet chatter I created the last time I did a Styx video, I don't really care that much. I don't. I've tried to defend Dennis. Um, and I think I've done a good job at that. I've got supposedly people agreeing with me, even though they don't like me. Um, but on the other end of the spectrum is this. This is a geezer rock band, right? You've got a band now with a couple of guys who are legacy guys in the band, talking about Tommy and JY. You've got Chuck, who shows up every so often to make it almost like there's an original member in the band. Um, they're very removed from, where they were back in their heyday. It's just a different bunch of guys. I got this guy Will. All the women are talking about Will Evankovich, I think his name is. I think he helped arrange and produce the last two Styx albums. Apparently, he's on stage, and the chicks really dig him. All right, because I was getting messages from a couple of patrons who went to the Styx Foreigner show, and that's cool because when Tommy and JY decide to retire, they have successors that can carry on. So there's not a lot about this that I really care about, other than the fact that I've made the point that these guys created a narrative about Dennis. Dennis refutes it, says, no, I'm not a dictator. Tommy says he's not happy when Dennis is around, but he has forgiven Dennis, and he forgives Dennis enough so it makes him able to play more of what Dennis wrote for the band, the best of times, right? Mr. Roboto. I think he needed to do that to say, hey, my conscience is clear enough, so now it's okay for me to play these songs. And I have no ill will toward the guy I kicked out of the band. And they bring up the fact that Dennis sued Styx. And again, Dennis addresses that, hey, I wasn't getting anything. They went out. Imagine the band you founded goes out on the road without you. They're using your name and likeness, or even if they're not, they didn't negotiate your exit from the band. If you recall, even Steve Smith and Ross Valerie from Journey got, I would imagine, a pretty good deal to stop, messing around with Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain. I call that kind of like a rock and roll golden parachute. Of course, Steve Perry got the best one that I can think of. I mean, what a deal that was. I mean, Dennis should be getting a cut of things that might make him feel better, but it just seems, based on the interview, again, I'm not going to read the interview, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I did read the entire interview. It just seems as though he wanted one last hurrah, and he also wanted to make amends with these guys and say, look, we made great, he says it over and over again, we made great music together. We were great together. Each of us brought songs. He was actually trying to talk about how it was kind of equal. Everybody had certain songs they brought in, and if you look at the writing credits, you see that everybody has music, and it's, again, the way it was in Styx. It was, what does he call it? Larry, Moe, and Curly. And then if you have Chuck there, it's Shemp, right? You got Styx almost. And it's, again, do I care? I care, but it's, again, because it's always kind of a slow news day in the world of classic rock. You know what breaking news would be? Styx welcomes back Dennis DeYoung to do a farewell tour. And then and you know what? You can do what Foreigner's doing, what Kiss did for like 20 years. Bill it as a farewell tour. The Eagles are doing an endless farewell tour. Um, there are bands that say they're going away, like Leonard Skinner did it, and then they're back. Oh, we decided we're back. So I mean, Styx could do it and say, "Hey, we're doing a farewell tour," and you know what? It's almost time for Styx to do a farewell tour, but they'll probably go on, like I say, for at least another 5 years, if not longer. Tommy isn't that old, and he looks like 20 years younger than he actually is. And good for him. Good. And this is fine. Look, the people attending these shows, again, I have patrons who say, hey, I like Tommy better than Dennis. Tommy's better looking than Dennis. I prefer Tommy's voice. Dennis is too vaudeville for me. And all right. See, I liked all of it. I honestly liked all of it. The appeal was both, okay? A mixture of things. And now you've got, hey, we're all kind of the same thing now. Although, for you fans of the whole Gowan thing, I get it. Larry brings some of that Dennis flavor to it, even though nobody talks about that. You replace Dennis with a guy who's almost equally vaudevillian. And I don't know. I guess it's got to be a personality thing. And so specifically, like if I were an interviewer, if I were Dan Ruther, I'd ask Tommy Shaw, I would say, hey, Tommy, what is it about Dennis's personality? What specifically does Dennis say and do that irritates you to the point where you are happier not being around him? That would be, and let's get specific. Like, what did he say? What did he do specifically that made you just say, you know what, I don't want to be around this guy? And maybe throw the question at JY as well. And then you clear it up, because then we know you just can't work with Dennis DeYoung, even though I interviewed Dennis's guitarist, and he told me that, hey, Dennis is cool to work with. Off the record, he told me all kinds of good stuff about Dennis. He said, yeah, Dennis is just a great guy to work for or work with, and I never had any problems with him. So, hey, that's firsthand testimony, right? I guess that's not important, firsthand testimony. August Zadra, he just told me this stuff, and I said, okay, cool. And nobody cared. Nobody cared because it's August, and he's not part of the classic rock community. Although Lawrence Gowan, he's a full-fledged member of the classic rock world. And he gets all kinds of press coverage, whereas August, who I think is hanging out with my buddy Tommy DiCarlo right now, which is awesome, because then you've got Styx in Boston. If you go see that show, that'll be more authentic than a lot of things that you'll be paying big money for. So again, bottom line here, how much do I care about the Styx situation? Not that much, really. If this creates all kinds of internet buzz because I'm losing interest in this, I'm losing interest in it because nobody really cares. I mean, Dennis, he's got the receipts for all of this stuff. He's got all of it going back to when he got terminated. And, it seems like a bit of an injustice. And you don't even have to like Dennis DeYoung. You could say, yeah, I'm glad he's gone. He's Liza Minnelli. He's Barry Manilow. Who needs that? We need testosterone. We need JY. We need to hear Snowblind again. Miss America. Let's hear Miss America again. Good song. Good song. No problem with either one of those songs, really. Used to play them on the radio when I was a DJ. Yeah, a long time ago. All right, before I just leave this conversation, which is really going nowhere. It's just the same old stuff about Styx. Check out this band called Vital Lines. This is really good stuff. Wheels Within Wheels came out last year. It's just one amazing song after another. My buddy Robbie LeBlanc is the singer in this, and he is, I mean, yeah, he's one of the best singers that you've never heard of. If you haven't heard of him, if you know who he is, he's money in the bank. Everything he does, kind of like Lou Gramm and Jimmy Jamison rolled into one guy, sort of, kind of. And then you got Tommy Denander playing guitar all over this, and it's like a Denander project with Robbie. Vitalines, again, like vitamins, but take your Vitalines every day. And a little Ezekiel message there. Wheels within wheels. All right, so that's my amazing video. If you feel sorry for me after this, you can buy me a coffee. There'll be a link to do that. You want to send me a message through Buy Me a Coffee. I demand a Starbucks latte, okay? I need to be more caffeinated to do these videos. And I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, Patreon, YouTube memberships. It's been a blast. 8 years doing this, approaching 80,000 subscribers. I'm irritating people in chat rooms right now. Right now, I'm doing it. It's crazy. It's just harmless Dave. Like I say, I'm harmless. I wouldn't hurt anybody. I have strong opinions. Apparently, that makes me somebody that, can't be trusted. So don't listen to that guy because he doesn't like everything. So thanks for watching. God bless everyone. God bless America. Better yet, God bless the entire world, right? We may have to move pretty soon. If you live in America, you might need to find a new place to live if things keep going the way they're going.